somebody who you wouldn't call a prolific goal scorer.
This is a forward that's not scored over 20 Premier League goals yet in a season, in a team that last season scored 99 goals.
You lot have overrated. I'm going with Gabriel Jesus. There's a reason why Pep chose to play without a striker, even though they had him at the club.
Jesus is not the best finisher in the world.
Gabriel Jesus, he's not getting the goals.
Eventually it becomes like, okay, maybe you should score now.
Gabriel Jesus, you, my friend, have to be the guy who scores the goals, but we are yet to see whether Gabriel Jesus is capable of doing that consistently.
I can score, guys. Like I said, I want to score every day. If you spot a hat-trick.
He's the best in the world.
Why does Gabriel Jesus face constant criticism despite being one of the best players in his position? 115 goal contributions in 213 Premier League matches, 32 goal contributions in 46 Champions League games, and 32 goal contributions in 64 games for Brazil, a three-time Premier League champion and Copa America winner. Yet the way people talk about him, you would think he is a center-back. He has scored for every team he has played in. So why is one of the best attackers we have ever seen constantly being slandered? There is almost no such thing as a perfectly rounded player, but what makes Gabriel Jesus stick out is the glaring weakness in what his position traditionally demands of him, or at least that's the perception, but is any of that true? While growing up, Jesus played for Palmeiras youth team. After watching his performances, the under-18 coach bumped him up to his squad. The odds of success were slim, playing with kids 2 years older than him, but instead he took off, surprisingly, even finishing the year as the team's top scorer. This prompted a rise like a few, eventually going on to finish the Under-17 Paulista Championship with 37 goals in 22 matches, which added to an immense performance in the Under-18 São Paulo Cup, being named the player of the tournament despite not even making the final. This finally allowed him to debut for the main team, and the result was mind-blowing. It seemed from the moment he joined, the mood changed. By the end of the first season, Palmeiras had won the Brazilian Cup, had made the final of the Paulista Championship, and were now up to 9th place in the league. Instantly, Jesus had become a local hero. In 2016, his life changed forever. His year started really well with Palmeiras, and then he was called up to the Olympic Games, where he scored 3 goals and became a key figure as Brazil went on to conquer the only trophy they were yet to win. Just 2 years earlier, he was painting the streets in yellow and green in honor of the national heroes. Now he was one of them, and the good times weren't ending anytime soon, with Jesus winning the Golden Ball Award for the best player of the year and taking Palmeiras to the title of Brazilian champions, only 2 years after being promoted and 22 years since the last time it had happened. At 19, he was already a legend, and rightfully. So the offers began pouring in, with Jesus eventually joining Man City for 32 million euros, looking to be coached by Pep Guardiola. Arriving in January in the middle of the season, coming off a World Cup qualification stage where he had been involved in 9 goals in 6 matches, with City struggling in 5th place and Gabriel being talked up to be the successor of Sergio Aguero, that was a lot of pressure to put on the shoulders of a teenager, but still, he outperformed all of the expectations, scoring 3 goals and getting 2 assists right on his first 3 starts. But that was exactly when he broke his foot, spending 3 months on the sidelines. Regardless, as he came back, he played even better, finishing off the season by stealing the role of main striker from Aguero and going on 5 starts with 4 goals and 3 assists, taking City to a 3rd place finish, ensuring they qualified for the Champions League and finishing the season with a goal involvement every 59 minutes, which is clearly out of this world. Still, the next season, after a few changes to the squad, Guardiola began playing Jesus and Aguero side by side, which brought down his numbers a bit, especially as another long-term injury sent him on a dry spell, lasting nearly 4 months. Despite all of that, by the end, not only had they won the league and the League Cup, but Jesus still totaled around 1 goal involvement every 117 minutes in his first full season in the Premier League. The following season, he bounced back tremendously, winning all 4 domestic trophies and being absolutely key in the cup competitions, where he scored and assisted at a ridiculous high rate, getting a goal contribution every 68 minutes. Though it should be noted he was not poor at all in the Premier League or Champions League either, with a goal contribution every 99 minutes. In 2019, he would play his best ever season for City, getting more game time than ever and going on to score 23 goals and a total of 14 assists across 53 games. He was especially impressive in the Champions League, where he scored a hat-trick against Zagreb and scored 2 and assisted once to knock out Real Madrid before a shocking exit to Lyon. Despite this peak in performance, he started started the following season with 3 different injuries, being sort of pushed out of the team for a while, leading his form to drop as he scored less frequently than he ever did. After one more season where he failed to get much game time despite bouncing back to his usual goal-scoring form, even scoring a Premier League poker and another goal against Real Madrid, Gabriel began carefully plotting his next career move, eventually settling on a transfer to Arsenal. On 13th of August 2022, in his second match and first at the Emirates, he scored his first and second competitive goals for the club against Leicester City and also provided 2 assists in a 4-2 win. Jesus also scored Arsenal's first goal in a 2-1 home win over Aston Villa, helping to maintain their 100% win rate from their opening 5 matches of the season. He was later voted as Arsenal's Player of the Month for August 2022. Just as he was finding his feet, he joined the Brazil squad for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, where he got a knee injury which kept him out until March 2023. Jesus scored the first goal in his second season at Arsenal against Manchester United in a 3-1 win. Jesus was particularly crucial for Arsenal in the Champions League as they made their return after a 6-year absence from the competition. He became the first Arsenal player to score 3 goals in his first 3 consecutive matches in the Champions League since Marwan Chamakh in 2011. His performance, especially against Sevilla, was one for the highlight reel. But sadly, once again, Jesus got 4 separate injuries which kept him out of action for 85 days. These injuries also coincided with an upturn in form for new Arsenal attacker Kai Havertz, who made it difficult for Jesus to regain his starting spot.